Okay, we're here. We're working. This is going to be a doubleheader. Doubleheader. This is going to be a long one too. So set your speed to 2x or whatever you need to do for my slow ass talking. Oh, that looks good. Let's do that right there. I'll try to reflect myself as little as possible. Okay. We got to go through all these round 1 cards. Here's how it happened. I bought 2 packs of the chickenman's box break pack out. He had a round 1 box. He packed it out. You could buy 1 pack for $200. I bought 2 because I'm a moron who likes to gamble. And because I'm a moron who likes to gamble, I got incredibly lucky with a gold Joe Rogan. We'll get to that. I also got all this. So let's go through it. Oh, and then after, because I'm a moron and like to gamble, I threw more money at his guy that's breaker on there, and I got 2 more packs from him for the same price. Problems. I went through every card. I looked at what I want to send to PSA. PSA will get yet more of my money, but I will do it through a group submitter so they don't know it's me, because maybe that makes a difference. I don't know. These cards, a card you don't care about, a card no one buys, still sells. Base between $1 and $3. So like Remy Sokuju here, actually worth a couple extra bucks because it says Lyoto Machida right there, and he's on the card. It's just his back. It's because Remy debuted. He fought Lyoto Machida. So every card in round 1 is a rookie card. It's a debut card. And it is the rookie of the person whose name is first. So this is Remy Sokuju debuting, fighting Lyoto Machida. And that's worth $2. Okay? So that's how it kind of goes. Gonzaga, same deal. Kevin Jordan right there, getting his face smushed. Poor guy. A couple bucks. Dustin Hazlett. That's the back of Tony D'Souza. Don't know who either of the. Maybe I remember Hazlett. I don't think so. UFC's youngest fighters. Got a rude welcome to the octagon when Tony submitted him in the first round. Since then, he's a ground fighting wizard, yet he was submitted. Submission wins over Josh Berkman and Tamden McCrory. Tamden, the barn cat, right? Is that right? I don't know. This is all kind of a little before my time. I'm not as much of a boomer as I make myself out to be. Ask my co-host. Rich Clementi versus Eve Edwards. Eve Edwards is on this card, getting kicked in the fist, it looks like. What do we love? No Love. The original No Love. Cody's going to fight. Cody's going to open UFC 300 in a couple days. Mike Slick Swick versus Alan Schunauer. Mike Quick Swick. Concussive power. Did he knock him out? He did. Knocked out Alex Schonauer and Gideon Ray in 2 fights. Nice. Nice, Mike. All right, Chuck Congo. Trying to finish that single leg. This is probably right before he knees this dude in the nuts. That joke, by the way, crosses international boundaries. All the Swiss know Chuck Congo knees dudes in the nuts too. Who we got? We don't mind. Don't pay no mind to that. Nice Berkman walk off photo. Very cool. Josh Berkman versus Sammy Morgan. You've got your tail of the tape. You don't need no insert for that. And last of the base cards that aren't worth much, Roger Huerta versus Jason Dent at UFC 63. Jason Dent just getting bludgeoned by Roger Huerta. Did he win? Yeah, he won. Doesn't say how. Okay. Now, these are the chicken packs. So this is the heat. So I'm going to leave this here. We're going to sweat it for a few more minutes or a few fast minutes. All depends on how fast you've got my talking speed up. We're going to go through the other pack, 2 packs, the other low value cards in the 2 packs. Now, let's see. This kind of blew my mind. Mario Yamasaki. This is a great example of why these are hard to grade high. Also, Stitch appearance in the back. You can see all the chewed up edginess here. A lot of the cards are like that. You can see it really well because this is a black edge right there, but a lot of the cards, the way they cut these, just it's not a ton better than it is today. But there's no border to be off center, I guess, so that's good. So not only would this not grade highly, but I was a little surprised it doesn't sell highly either. Considering it's Mario Yamasaki. This dude's probably caused more CTE than anyone except Steve Mazzagatti. Seriously. Like, watch. Who did he let almost kill someone? Chris Cyborg, maybe? I don't know. Correct me in the comments. It's fine. Also, we've got John Fitch, base. Getting that standing guillotine on. Nice. Don't correct me. Make me feel bad. Another Chuck Congo base. Tyson Griffin versus David Lee, UFC 63. Tim Kruder versus Kale Yarborough? Kale? From Atlanta. I've never heard of a person named Kale before. Probably pronouncing that horribly wrong. Joe Daddy versus Luke Kumo. Luke is famous and also kind of went nuts, but Joe Daddy giving Luke Kumo CTE. Ben Saunders kicking Dan Barrera right in the chin. Fuck yeah. Ben Saunders still fights. At least he was. He was fighting at like some East Coast promotion on Fight Pass last year. And Marvin Eastman versus a young dinosaur, Vitor Belfort. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this may be old enough at UFC 43 that they were still calling Vitor Victor. Started out strong against the Phenom Vitor, but when Belfort opened up with strikes, left Eastman's head badly cut. The referee had to stop the bout. No doctors then, just the refs. Ref stoppage. It's fine. Also surprising, Vitor is on this card and it doesn't sell very high. But I think Vitor like leaves a little bit of a more special place in boomers' hearts like me than anyone else. Now, we'll finish with the Gold Rogan. On to the good shit. This is the shit that I took a bunch of notes on. So, I looked up every one of these just to see, because I want to know if I want to send them to be group submitted. Chances are I do. And I'm going to blow your mind with the first 4 that we're going to think about sending in to PSA. Checklists, graded PSA 9s, sell for $25 or $30. This is a PSA 9, if I ever seen one. Little off center. Corner has a little fuzz to it right there. Dude, you're telling me that any of these can't get a PSA 9? You're crazy. So 4 checklists. PSA 9s. Coming right up. Yes, ma'am. You know, and if they're 8s, whatever. I don't care. It's just stupid and fun. So those are from each pack. The way this works, each pack has a checklist, a hit. So it's going to have like a gold or a silver parallel. It's going to have a checklist. It's going to have an insert, and it's going to have a auto if we're lucky, right? because there's 2 autos per box, I think, maybe 3. And by God, did we get lucky. So the last 2 packs I bought, here's the hits. From Chickens Dude, I think Butt is his name, I can't remember. Shane Carwin, this surprised me. This is the victorious debut insert, Shane Carwin, when he knocked out Christian Welsh. Yeah, that's a fight I don't remember. At UFC 84. Shane, congratulations, your insert is only worth a couple bucks. I was a little surprised. So that will not be going. Michael Bisping, base card. PSA 9 sells for 50, PSA 8 sells for 40, and Raw sells for about 10 bucks. So this is about triple Raw where they're usually at. They're usually between 1 and 3. This one sells for 10 because it's Bisping. He has one eye and he still talks on the mic. We have a certain someone that wants to pick this up from me to get graded himself. I think we'll see about that. It's soft and fucked up, like all these cards. That corner's a little soft. You know, the edges are... It's really hard to tell with the edges because every bottom edge has this pattern on it that makes it look like it's all fucking chewed up anyway. You know, I don't know. So, we'll see. Will we send it? Unknown. It's going in the yes pile. If we don't make a deal, we'll send it. Matt the Terra Serra. Autograph. Autos in these, there were some numbered ones. This one is not. The corners and edges are chewed up as hell. Can you see that? Raw, this card does between 40 and 75. All numbers I'm giving you are from the PSA, or the look at that. That's not supposed to be like that. All the numbers I'm giving you are from the eBay website, Terapeak, that they do. Both edges are like that. The corners are beat. It's just beat. What blew my mind was a PSA 5. So a PSA 5 sold recently of this card. It sold for $137 on auction. So there were not a lot of boxes made, which means there's not a lot of autos made. Even though the auto's not numbered, that's how desirable some of these autographs are. People need to complete their sets. Like, this is the set collector's set of UFC cards. Why is... And that's why it's going to get graded, because I want it in the pop reports. Why is it the set collector's set? Because... First off, Topps didn't know what they were doing, nor did they care. But look at this. It's all photo, no border, violence happening with 2 names on the card. And every card is a rookie card. It is the set collector's set. Yeah, and some of them are out of focus. Like the Chuck, you'll see a Chuck Liddell base card later. Sure. Nobody's in the audience. People didn't go to prelims back then either. Oh, it's so good. Frankie Edgar, base card. UFC debut versus Tyson Griffin. Base Edgar, PSA 8 sells for $30. This is the one where you're kind of on the fence. Like, can this do an 8 or better? And that corner makes me think no. That corner is beat. But I don't know. Do I want to break even on a PSA 7, or do I want to wait? I don't know. I think I don't want to, because I know a Frankie Edgar collector anyway, and I should make sure he has that card. Speaking of out of focus, Chuck Liddell versus No Hernandez. I bet No got knocked out in this fight. Decision win against a fighter who would not go down. Pretty good stories on the back of these cards. So that's Chuck's base card. PSA 8 sells for $100. This one is not too effed up. Probably around there. I don't know. We'll send it in. A silver Boach sells raw for 20 to 40 bucks. So that's kind of where you're at, silver, because it's a thicker card and it's 288 on the back. 221 out of 288. And that's kind of where you're at. 20 to 40 raw on a silver is kind of where you're at on silvers. So you basically can go 1 to 5 on base cards that no one wants except you because you want to complete a set. You can go 5 to 10 on golds, and you can go 20 to 40 on silvers. It's pretty much where you're going to be if you want to build a full set of cards no one wants. The ones people want, you're getting into the hundreds. Base Chuck, PSA 8's $100. So Tim will go in. Why not? I'm okay sitting on it for a while. And then, not only an Octagon girl, but Rochelle Leah, someone no one remembers, including myself, and it's a gold. And it's like PSA 9 level gold. It's not all chewed up. Okay. She was a paramedic before she went into modeling. Well, she was going to be a paramedic. Fantastic stuff, Rochelle. Thank you for being in this set. Thank you for being in the golds. A gold Rochelle Leah PSA 8 sold for $42 on auction. And the way I kind of look at auctions is they're half the price of buy it nows. And that's, yeah, they're comps, but they're not really comps. That's just my rule of thumb. Your mileage may vary. Don't at me. I don't care. Like, sell it for what you want to sell it for. And there's the big hit from those two packs. A Herbie that's in really good shape. That edge is pretty iffy. I don't know. It's tough to say, but a PSA 9 Herbie sells for $100. So a PSA 8, do 80. That's fine with me. So I've got quite a few cards to send in already. And then we're getting into the really good shit. Now we're going to get into the good shit. We're not done yet. These are the hits that Chicken pulled me from the 2 chicken packs. Dude. Top 10 fights. St. Pierre versus Fitch. PSA 10s. If we're lucky. 122. A PSA 9. $30. But man, this is close. It's easy to gamble. It's harder to face facts. But no edges are effed up. No corners are that soft. It's iffy. We'll send it in. Base Goldie. PSA 9 sells for $50. This card, this is a great example of how effed up these cards can get, because you can see how bad that edge damage is next to my thumb. Look at that. So these cards can get chipped up the way they were cutting them. And there is no way this card goes anything higher than a 7. I don't think. So we won't send it in. We also got a Berkman silver out of 288. Silver Berkman sells for $13 raw. We won't send that in. We got a Diego Sanchez base card. That's another one that sells for $3 to $5, which is just horrific. Put some respect on this man's name. And then huge base card. Hoist. Chewed up edges a little bit. Chewed up edges. SGC 9 sells for $250. PSA 7 sells for $121. I think any of these cards could get a 7. So yeah, I'm sending that in. Unless, we cut a deal with somebody or something. Same with Nate. Sells for $30 raw. All $30 raw is telling me is that you're paying for the cost of grading no matter what it gets. So that's Nate. We'll send it in. I got a PSA 8 of Nate's already. I was looking at comps on that and was blown away. I gotta list it at some point. And then we got John Fitch. That's another one of those $3 to $5 ones. And then the big one. The one I don't even want to take out of this team bag or whatever it's called. The gold Rogan. So let's think about this. There's a chip on the edge that I can see with my naked eye. The corners are going to be effed up and pressed on because it's a thick card. It probably just from putting it in the top loader fucks it up. No offense to anyone. Chicken, if you're watching, I'm not saying you fucked this card up. Don't take that the wrong way. It's just a fact of life. Every time you take a card in and out of a top loader or in and out of a sleeve, you got a chance to fuck it up. And this card, that edge and bottom corner is chipped. Chippy. So what happens? And I'd be interested to hear, because I would listen to your opinions. Not that I would necessarily follow any of your suggestions, but I'll certainly listen to your line of reasoning here, because a base card can sell for $250. A gold can sell for $200 to $400, and that's just raw like that right now. So, like, even if it gets a PSA 7, like, right, it's got to be worth an extra $100, right? Right. Don't look at me. Look at the Rogan. And hide behind the camera. I don't know. So I'm sending it in. That's where I'm at. So, yeah, I know. I always say, don't do me that way again, PSA, and then I do it again anyway. They're going. So that's part one. We'll record part two right now, and then we'll probably release part two first. I'm gonna rip some cards. I need to rip. I haven't even come close to putting on eBay all the crap that I already ripped, but I gotta rip more chrome. So let's do it. All right, I'm gonna set these aside, and we'll get to part two shortly in a different video. Maybe it'll come out first. Maybe it'll come out after. But you all, we'll get to that. Don't worry about that. It's a John Whaley optograph. We'll make some picks too. I guess we'll do the second video first. What do you say? We're all one. Talk to you later. Bye.